Hulk Hogan, yeah. You say you don't know where the Macho Man is coming from? Yeah, you're right. You don't know anything about the Macho Man, Randy Savage, and where I'm coming from.
Did he take a laxative? Is he good? Yo, the promos you used to run was crazy. Hey, I don't know if this is good acting or is it Kane? Look how his jaw locked up. Like, brothers, I know it's scripted, but you put up to the hospital to brutalize this man. That shit diabolical.
As for Shawn Michaels,
Hit it with a
previously a
big
top
thing.
star,
I don't really think nobody fucking with me anyway, you know what I'm saying? 24 fucking hundred. I come from that fucking block. I been out that Johnny up and up that cutter. If we cannot get.
Welcome back. We're back with another reaction video. Today we're reacting to an off the top rope video. Travel back in time to every era of the wrestling in 36 minutes. So we about to learn about a lot of Vince McMahon in it.
so kicking things off will be the 80s, the birthplace of WWF. The golden era of WWE, often called the Hulkamania era, spanned from the early 80s all the way to the early 90s, marking a transformative period for
So the steroid era, got it, check.
professional wrestling. This era began when Vince McMahon took over the World Wrestling Federation from his father Vince McMahon Sr. in 1982, and McMahon envisioned expanding WWF's reach beyond the traditional regional wrestling circuits into a national and global phenomenon. This expansion was fueled by a strategic television deal, innovative marketing, and the introduction of pay-per-view events, and at the forefront of this revolution was Hulk Hogan, whose larger-than-life persona and real American character became synonymous within WWF.
Hogan had been a star in other promotions, namely the AWA based in Minneapolis. But after gaining mainstream popularity from his role in the movie
Did the WWE pop off pay-per-view events? Because if they did, Vince McMahon is a genius. He's a weirdo, but
Rocky III, Hogan made his way to WWE, and McMahon knew he had struck gold.
And Hogan's appeal extended beyond the wrestling ring, making him a pop cultural icon of the 1980s. You simply couldn't get away from all the marketing around him. From him opening restaurants, movies, and doing talk shows, it's fair to say the whole world were Hulkamaniacs. But other notable superstars during this time included Macho Man. The marketing around him, from him opening restaurants, movies.
I just realized, look how bald he started becoming. You're telling me that was a steroid usage? All right, brother. I'll be going for anything.
And doing talk shows, it's fair to say the whole world were Hulkamaniacs. But other notable superstars during this time included Macho Man Randy Savage. Known for his flamboyant style and intense promo, made him an easy number 2 in the company.
Hulk Hogan, yeah. You say you don't know where the Macho Man is coming from? Yeah, you're right. You don't know anything about the Macho Man, Randy Savage, and where I'm coming from.
Did he take a laxative? Is he good? Yo, the promos you used to run was crazy. Hey, I don't know if this is good acting or is it Kane? Look how his jaw locked up.
And who can forget Andre the
What's going
Giant,
on?
whose sheer size and presence captivated audiences. These wrestlers, along with the others like Rowdy Roddy Piper, Ultimate Warrior, and Jake the Snake Roberts, helped define the era with memorable characters and storylines. But characters alone wouldn't have been enough, because the golden era success can be attributed to several key factors. Vince McMahon's aggressive expansion strategy involved acquiring the top talent from rival promotions and securing a national television slot, most notably with MTV's Rock and Wrestling Connection. This partnership helped attract a younger audience and integrated wrestling into the mainstream culture. Additionally, McMahon's focus on spectacle and entertainment rather than traditional wrestling matches broadened the appeal of the WWF. So the introduction of WrestleMania in 1985 was a pivotal moment, establishing an annual flagship event that combined wrestling.
So Mr. T really was a wrestler. What? I thought they was bullshit. Like, I knew about the A team. He really wrestled though.
Wrestling with celebrity appearances and high production
Yeah,
values
Muhammad Ali.
proved to be a formula for success, as the event drew nearly 20,000 fans and 1 million viewers at home, which was unheard of at the time. Besides that, the match between Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 3 in 1987, where Hogan famously body slammed the 520-pound giant, became an iconic moment in wrestling history, as it seems nothing could stop
Which he said he allegedly tore his back muscles, his shoulder muscles, messed up his spine. Cap artist.
Hulk Hogan when the crowd got behind him. What also helped this period was the formation of iconic tag teams and rivalries, such as the feud between the Mega Powers with Miss Elizabeth. It meant that audiences were emotionally invested, as it introduced long-term storytelling into the mix. Additionally, the 1980s also saw the rise of Saturday Night Main Event, a late-night TV show that brought wrestling to a broader audience. And as WWF
So he was really wrestling with a snake. That was a real snake. You win the match, brother. You won the match. Also, I might be ranking these while I'm watching this video. So you got real live snakes, you got Hulk, you got Randy Savage, you got the introduction to WrestleMania. This might be like a top 4 error.
expanded, we were slowly introduced into more and different types of pay-per-view. Now known as the Big Four, this era was the birthplace of these shows. So in 1998 is when audiences got their first glimpse of the Royal Rumble event, when initially it was more of an exhibition match and there was no reward for fighting the champion at Mania. And the reception from the fans was positive, as 30 men entered the ring every 2 minutes was exciting to see. But 1998 also happened to be the year that SummerSlam was introduced, while Survivor Series aired 1 year earlier in 1987. So the golden era laid the foundation for WWF's evolution into a global entertainment powerhouse. It introduced wrestling to a mainstream audience and created a template for the integration of sports and entertainment that continues to influence the industry today and cemented its place in pop culture. However, things were going to dramatically change, as an unforeseen scandal will shake the wrestling world to its core.
Okay, the guitar riff was very loud. New generation era. Why didn't it have a better name? And it's a 4-year era? What the hell?
The new generation of WWF, spanning from 1993 to 1997, marked a transitional period for the company as it sought to redefine itself amidst various challenges, including the steroid scandal and the rising competition from World Championship Wrestling. This era saw a shift from the larger-than-life, juiced-up superstars of the golden era to the new breed of younger, more athletic performers aiming to appeal to a changing audience. But a big contributor to this was the steroid scandal, which came to a head in 1993, impacted several superstars including Hulk Hogan, who testified against WWF. This led to a federal investigation into WWF's practices within the workplace.
Ever questioning what they see when they turn on television or go to a live event.
Vince McMahon, World Wrestling Federation boss, calling for drug tests in the WWF. He's getting tough on steroid use after Dr. George Sahorian was convicted of selling steroids to several WWF stars.
Additionally, Vince McMahon himself faced legal battles, which ultimately resulted in his acquittal, but the scandal tarnished the company's image and forced a shift from the heavily muscular physique that had previously dominated the roster. In response to these challenges, WWF began to promote a new generation of talent. Bret the Hitman Hart emerged as a central figure, known for his technical wrestling skills and in-ring storytelling. Hart's feud with wrestlers like Shawn Michaels and Owen Hart provided some of the era's most memorable matches. And on the other hand, Shawn Michaels was a rising star himself, separating from his tag team the Rockers in a now infamous barbershop backstage segment. His high-flying style, good looks, charismatic personality made his rise to prominence inevitable. Earning the nickname the Heartbreak Kid, his rivalry with Bret Hart culminating in an iconic Iron Man match at WrestleMania 12 is a standout moment of this era. And other notable stars included Razor Ramon, whose ladder match with Michaels at WrestleMania 10 set a new standard for athleticism and match creativity. And Diesel also became a prominent figure, holding the WWF Championship and engaging in significant feuds with Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. While While The Undertaker continued to be a mainstay, adapting his dark persona to a changing landscape and had notable rivalries with the likes of Yokozuna and Mankind. And don't get me wrong, these feuds had to be good because during this time, WWF faced significant competition from WCW, which was gaining popularity.
Who was in the WCW? It's a great question. I mean, you got Shawn Michaels, you got Owen Hart, and you got The Undertaker. Is there a competition for real?
Popularity under the leadership of Eric Bischoff, as WCW Monday Night Nitro, which debuted in 1995, directly challenged Monday Night Raw, leading to the infamous Monday Night Wars.
And then we'd like to, you know, kick his butt.
WCW's aggressive talent acquisition included former WWF stars like Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, and eventually Kevin Nash and Scott.
They was cooking.
Hall, forming the NWO, intensified the rivalry and pushed WWF to innovate, as WCW clearly had the cool factor on its side, which led to the second scare for WWF in the 90s, as they were losing the rating awards for nearly 52 weeks. And WWF needed to do something dramatic to change things around if they wanted to stay in business. But Vince McMahon was smart, and he did have a plan during this period. He just needed time to execute it and push the boundaries upon what was allowed to be aired on TV at the time, as the turning point in this war seemed to be the focus on adult-oriented themes within the company.
Generation X invades WCW tonight!
Mick Foley is going to win their world title.
Ethically, did I have a problem with doing that? Of course not. It's business.
Austin.
So y'all on the same. That's my thing. Like, they stole Stone Cold Steve Austin, bro. WCW was cooking, bro.
316 says I just whipped your ass.
I mean, we're just doing whatever we want.
And as mentioned, the 90s was seen as the time of innovation, as the King of the Ring pay-per-view in 1993 highlighted the company's shift towards showcasing in-ring talent and new stars. The ladder match at WrestleMania 10 in 1994 set a new standard for match creativity. The era also saw the rise of unique characters such as Goldust, whose androgynous persona pushed boundaries, and the birth of Steve Austin's Stone Cold persona after his King of the Ring victory in 1996, where he famously coined the phrase Austin 316, birthed a new star. So it's safe to say that the new generation era laid the groundwork for WWF's resurgence in the late 1990s. Despite the challenges of the steroid scandal and the fierce competition from WCW, WWF's focus on young...
Yeah, but it's Steve Austin, other side. Yeah. That's how you lose.
talent and innovative storytelling helped it survive a difficult period. This era paved the way for the Attitude Era, where the stars like Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Triple H would propel WWF to a new height of popularity, which brings us to what most fans regards to the best time in WWF.
Right. The Attitude Era.
The Attitude Era in WWF, spanning from 1997 to 2002, is widely regarded as one of the most transformative and popular periods of professional wrestling history. This era was marked by the significant shift from WWF's creative direction, driven by the need to adapt and compete with WCW during the Monday Night.
I think the last era was tough because it's like the competition pushed these niggas to create one of the greatest eras ever. But by default, I mean, you're switching between the Golden Era and then the Attitude Era. Probably on the lower tiers of the 8 eras that are about to be listed. I had the Golden Era with 4. put that last era like 6. This era probably like 2.
Wars and rejuvenate the company's product. So after a segment on Raw where we were shown Stone Cold throwing The Rock's IC title into the river, the world got to see Vince McMahon usher in a new period for the company.
We in the WWF think that you, the audience, are quite frankly tired of having your intelligence insulted. We also think that you're tired of the same old simplistic theory of good guys versus bad guys. Surely the era of the superhero who urged you to say your prayers and take your vitamins is definitely passé. Therefore, we've embarked upon a far more innovative and contemporary creative campaign that is far more invigorating and extemporaneous than ever before.
And a change was certainly needed in the mid-1990s as we saw WWF struggling with declining ratings and stale storylines. In addition to this, WCW's creation of the New World Order storyline significantly bolstered its ratings and appeal, and simply put, you couldn't get away from the NWO's popularity. It was grim for WWF and Vince.
The NWO became the most popular thing in sports entertainment, the anti-heroes that everybody was craving in that era.
Here's the NWO!
Ready or not, here we come!
They were so hot. They kind of like redefined wrestling.
In response to these challenges, WWF embraced a new, edgier direction. The Attitude Era began to take shape as WWF focused on mature and controversial content to appeal to a broader audience. Key figures emerged, defining the era with their charismatic and rebellious personas, one of them being Stone Cold Steve Austin, who became an anti-hero of this period. With his defiant attitude and ongoing feud with WWF chairman, it's safe to say it was loved by fans. Austin's resistance against McMahon became a central storyline, symbolizing a rebellion against authority.
Like, brothers, I know that scripted, but you pulled up to the hospital to brutalize this man. That shit diabolical.
As for Shawn Michaels, previously a top star during the New Generation, continued to be a major figure, but eventually was sidelined due to injuries and personal issues within the company. Meanwhile, The Rock, with his electrifying promos and skills, rose to prominence, engaging in notable rivalries with Austin, Triple H, and Mankind. Meanwhile, Triple H and D-Generation X, which included Shawn Michaels, Road Dogg, Billy Gunn, and X-Pac, brought a brash and disrespectful attitude that challenged authority and pushed boundaries. Along with segments such as addressing the network, was pure TV gold. Now, Billy Gunn.
Nah, see, y'all a problem because motherfuckers was doing that in school and getting suspended. Y'all are the problem. I didn't do that, but I'm saying though, I seen it happen. Y'all are the problem.
And X-Pac brought a brash and disrespectful attitude that challenged authority and pushed boundaries. Along with segments such as addressing the network, was pure TV gold.
Now then, as it pertains to video, we promise there will be less dick references.
Oh, shit.
Watch your fucking mouth.
Well, fuck me.
God damn it.
As for The Undertaker, he continued to evolve his character with a darker and more complex storyline, which included a feud with Kane that still made people to this day believe they're actually brothers. And then he became...
Why would you ruin the illusion? Why would you ruin the illusion? Go and say, I'm just saying, no, bro. They could have been brothers, bro. This in another life.
The leader of the Ministry of Darkness, which later became somewhat of a mess with the corporate ministry. While Mankind, also known as Mick Foley, became known for his hardcore matches and unique persona by putting his life on the line for everyone's entertainment. His match with The Rock in an I Quit match has some of the most brutal chair shots audiences have ever seen. In addition to that, his matches with Triple H honestly helped the game get over as a true contender for the WWE title. However, I would be a fool if I didn't mention the infamous Montreal Screwjob at Survivor Series 1997, where Bret Hart was controversially defeated by Shawn Michaels. This directly led to the creation of the villainous McMahon character that we all love to hate. But there were several other key moments, like the Hell in a Cell match between The Undertaker and Mankind at King of the Ring 1998, where Mankind was thrown off the cell, which remains one of the most iconic moments in wrestling history. And because
but that cell like 10 feet tall, there's no way he have a concussion, broken ribs, lacerated spleen after that. Like what the
because of everything mentioned above, the intense competition between WWF and WCW finally began to go in the favor of Vince after Mike Tyson was included in the storyline for WrestleMania 14's main event match between Stone Cold Steve Austin and Shawn Michaels. It helped the company regain its footing and eventually win the rating wars, and with the pendulum finally swinging, wrestlers' movements between the two companies started happening with talents like Chris Jericho, Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit leaving WCW for WWF. To cap it off, the Attitude Era was marked by a surge in WWF's popularity, leading to record high ratings, increased pay-per-view buys, and widespread mainstream attention. And the cherry on top during this era was that we got to see Stone Cold and The Rock's immense rivalry, as the two superstars will go on to share 3 WrestleManias together. From the catchphrases to the iconic finishes, everyone wanted to replicate these two, whether it was in the playground or in the backyard. This era made WWF a...
Brother, that table was on fire. Y'all was really slamming through flaming tables. Now don't get me wrong. I done seen my fair share of wrestling because of wrestling popping, but a flaming table. I seen niggas get slammed on a pool table. A flaming
cultural phenomenon. So the success of the Attitude Era laid the foundation for the continued dominance and the company's eventual transformation into a global entertainment powerhouse. But as they say, the good times don't last forever, and a new challenge was on the horizon, but not from another company, more so by some new faces.
This my era, baby.
The Ruthless Aggression era, spanning from 2002 to 2008, marked a significant transitional period in WWE. So it was characterized by the emergence of new stars, the evolution of the product, and the departure of the old guard. This era sought to maintain the company's momentum, but to do so, the Ruthless Aggression era began in the aftermath of the Monday Night Wars, and WWE acquisition of WCW in 2001 meant a new vision for the company.
Imagine that. Me, Vince McMahon.
It's narcissistic.
Imagine that.
Oh my God.
Here I am on WCW television.
Myself.
How can that happen? Well, there's only one way. You see, it was just a matter of time before I, Vince McMahon, bought my competition. That's right. I own WCW.
Nah, he getting too much money. It's diabolical. Ref, 35. Where's the ref at, man? He be creating monopoly and shit. Where's the ref?
So therefore, in its final broadcast tonight on TNT, I have the opportunity to address you, the WCW fans.
So with the competition eliminated and the invasion storyline in the past, WWE aimed to refresh its products and introduce new talents to the forefront. And this was thrust upon WWE because of the departure of key Attitude Era figures such as Stone Cold Steve Austin due to injury and creative differences, and The Rock, who transitioned into a part-time role but eventually to Hollywood, created a vacuum that needed to be filled with new superstars. So in 2002, Vince McMahon introduced the term Ruthless Aggression in a promo, challenging the roster to step up and seize the opportunity. And this call to action led to the rise of several new stars, most notably introduced the term Ruthless Aggression in a promo, challenging...
Oh, these some of the old players. I'm about to say good. Yeah, R-Truth. Brother, how long have you been doing this? 33 years. Goldberg at?
The roster to step up and seize the opportunity. And this call to action led to the rise of several new stars, most notably John Cena.
Look at the actors.
What is the one quality that you possess that makes you think that you can walk out here and come into the ring and face the very best in the business? Ruthless aggression.
So as mentioned, John Cena debuted that year, quickly making an impact with his Dr. Orthogonomics persona and later becoming the face of WWE after 2005. Meanwhile, Brock Lesnar also debuted in 2002, immediately dominating the scene with...
I'm sorry, this has to be the best era. Now I might be biased nostalgia. Is that a thing? But what other era got these superstars popping it like this? Put it number 2. I'm gonna save my assessment for the end, but
his unparalleled athleticism and quickly captured the WWE Championship. But in addition to all of this was the emergence of the SmackDown 6. This was a group that included Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, Edge, Rey Mysterio, and Chavo Guerrero. Their matches were critically acclaimed.
You got Rey, Eddie Guerrero, rest in peace, Like it's too much. It's too much gas, man.
with their technical prowess and storytelling, significantly elevating the quality of SmackDown's product. As each man's chemistry was similar, it meant that they were able to put on stellar matches. Some noteworthy ones are Edge vs Eddie Guerrero in a no disqualification match in 2002, and Edge and Rey Mysterio vs Los Guerreros in a tag team #1 contenders match in 2003. And considering that SmackDown was always seen as the B show to Monday Night Raw, Kurt Angle said it best in an interview: each man had a point to prove when it came to their performance.
You know, the SmackDown 6 was a special group, and, you know, at the time, SmackDown was always the second show. Raw was always the flagship show, and it got to the point that nobody wanted to be on SmackDown. So we all got together, you know, the 6 of us, and we said, listen, we need to change the around here. We gotta make this the #1 show. And that's what we did. You know, we had incredible matches. The cool thing about SmackDown compared to Raw was more of a storyline-driven show. SmackDown was more action, more wrestling. And that's what we took pride in. That's when the SmackDown 6 came in.
What also happened during this period is that WWE also had a developmental territory, Ohio Valley Wrestling, OVW. It played a crucial role in nurturing the future stars during this era. Alongside John Cena and Brock Lesnar, OVW produced talents like Randy Orton and Dave Batista, and these two's careers were noteworthy to say the least. Randy Orton, who was initially part of the Evolution faction with Triple H, was then dubbed the Legend Killer as he became known for his cocky persona and feuds with veterans.
And hey man, and when that nigga was the heel, bro, that was my favorite, bro. Man, bro, you know he about to kick some. You know you about to get RKO. Snake in the building, gang.
While Dave Batista emerged as a powerhouse, eventually main eventing WrestleMania 21 against Triple H. So it's safe to say that WWE was not short on talent during this time, but it's the feuds that defined the Ruthless Aggression era. The rivalry between Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle is an example of this, as it showcased the amateur wrestling backgrounds and culminated in a classic match at WrestleMania 19. As for John Cena's feuds, it included significant matches with JBL, Chris Jericho and Edge, solidifying his status as a top star. Meanwhile, the feud between Triple H and Shawn Michaels reignited their past conflicts and produced several memorable matches, including their epic encounter at SummerSlam 2002 and the first ever Elimination Chamber match at Survivor Series 2002. And it has to be said, Eddie Guerrero's journey to become the WWE champion was a highlight of this era. His emotional victory over Brock Lesnar at No Way Out in 2004 and subsequent defense against Kurt Angle at WrestleMania 20 were defining moments in his career. But that's not all. His lie, cheat, steal gimmick took off as he would embrace his cultural background and roll up to pay-per-views and SmackDown in a lowrider and use underhanded tactics to win, which the crowd...
It's like, bro, he had the style, the personality. Hey, go for splash, no stupid.
Love. I would argue that this period of time probably had some of the best matches in WWE's history. Who could forget the Iron Man match between Lesnar and Kurt Angle on SmackDown, and another being Mick Foley versus Edge in a hardcore match at Mania 22, and finally Shawn Michaels versus Kurt Angle at WrestleMania 21, with both of them giving legendary promos.
I'm just a sexy Kurt.
I miss so much by being like a casual wrestling person. Like I really wasn't watching that shit. Like my neighbor's watching that shit, and I'm over there, then I'm watching it. I wasn't really but what sexy Kurt? This is what we're doing? Why are we doing this? We was a whole champion. What do you this Olympic gold medalist trolling right now?
Make your ankle hurt. I'm just a sexy Kurt.
The Ruthless Aggression era's successful transition to focus on developing new talent paid off, ensuring the company continued its success in a post-Attitude Era landscape. So, 3 eras in, it seems like WWE...
Yeah, alright, boom. So again, we 3 out of 8. I got Attitude Era is just so tough. Golden Era, bro, y'all popped out so much shit, bro. You gotta be 4, bro. You gotta at least be top half of the list, regardless, because you popped out too much stuff. New generation, bro. Y'all did get the competition going, making Vince have to create more superstars. Not better than the Golden Era, and shot better than that. So it's like sixes, and then got attitude era.
He couldn't make a wrong move, but the constant need to grow meant that WWE had to take 3 steps back to take 2 forward. And this is where many fans believe that WWE became too kid-friendly as we entered the...
I made a mistake. I made a mistake. I made a mistake. Nah, 40. Nah, nah. This is 8. This is 8. And then I don't even want to put the other era that I just said that close to some trash. So yeah, make it 5. 6 is crazy.
The PG era of WWE, spanning from 2008 to 2013, marked a significant shift in the company's approach to content and storytelling. This period saw WWE transition into a more family-friendly product, in stark contrast to the edgy and mature themes of the previous Attitude and Ruthless Aggression eras. The decision to adopt a PG rating was driven by multiple factors, including the desire to attract a broader audience, secure more lucrative sponsorships, and expand WWE's appeal to younger viewers. So the transition officially began mid-2008 when WWE announced that all of its programming would be rated PG. And at the forefront of all of this was John Cena, who remained a central figure during this era. As he solidified his status as the face of WWE, his clean-cut heroic persona was well suited to the family-friendly approach. So Cena's feuds with the likes of Randy Orton, CM Punk and The Rock were among the most notable during this era. But the rivalry between Cena and Orton, which had roots in the Ruthless Aggression era, continued to captivate audiences with...
Yeah, that was like the best, probably some of the best feuds there still. Like, you know, again, I wasn't avidly watching this, but I see a match. Oh, y'all seeing that Randy Orton still doing this?
their battles for the WWE Championship. But as time went on, it almost felt like these two were in an endless loop as they were constantly in the main event. So notably for the audience, fatigue was kicking in.
Anytime I can
see what I'm saying? They still doing this?
He and I fit together well, and we work together well, and I love working with him. This is the 4th premium live event, as we now call them. And we had done a lot of stipulations before, and we'd added tons of stipulations to this match of anything goes, and if I lose, I leave Raw. One could speculate that possible audience fatigue of watching performers together for half a year. That's a lot of interaction. That's a lot.
And it seemed like both audiences and wrestlers weren't happy with this decision, as one thing that Vince and WWE did correctly in the Attitude and Ruthless Aggression era was pushing newer talent. But this frustration of not promoting other superstars and keeping a ceiling over their head is how the whole wrestling world got a reality check on an episode of Raw. CM Punk emerged as a key figure, particularly with his pipe bomb promo in 2011, which blurred the lines between reality and storyline.
No matter how many times I prove it, I'm not on your lovely little collector cups. I'm not on the cover of the program.
Is that because you went to the UFC and got mollywop? I think this is before that. Man, they pulled up to the UFC for no reason. They got him in a game still. Like, brother, you didn't do anything.
I'm barely promoted. I don't get to be in movies. I'm certainly not on any crappy show on the USA Network. I'm not on the poster of WrestleMania. I'm not in the signature that's produced at the start of the show.
That being said, Punk's feud with John Cena culminated in a memorable match at Money in the Bank in 2011, where Punk won the WWE Championship and left the company in storyline with the title, creating a buzz among fans. And this storyline was a breath of fresh air, as it was the rare instance of edgy content in an otherwise toned-down PG era. But this seemed to be the turning point, as mainstream media picked up the story as it was garnering a lot of press. This somewhat directly led to Daniel Bryan's gaining popularity with his yes chants and underdog persona. Because prior to...
I remember some of this shit. Then the nigga started saying, no. One time he said yes, then he got slanted stupid ass. Hey, Daniel Bryan, that is a character, man.
The Punk's outburst, he was seen as an upper mid-card player, even though he was a former world champion.
Brian's having fun. For sure. Shout out to Miz.
However, Bryan would eventually win the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 30 in 2014, although his rise did begin in the latter parts of the PG era. Additionally, during this time, several wrestlers rose up the ranks, such as Sheamus, The Miz, Alberto Del Rio.
Who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that?
Alberto Del Rio?
As they all became prominent figures, each holding major championships, with Alberto winning the first ever 40-man Royal Rumble. Like I mentioned, the PG era received mixed reaction from the fans. While the cleaner, family-friendly product helped WWE attract a broader audience and secure sponsorships, for some long-term fans, they missed the edgier content of previous eras. Critics argued that the PG rating led to a more sanitized and predictable product, lacking the excitement of the unpredictability of the Attitude and Ruthless Aggression era. For me, I would say Cena says it best when reflecting on this time period.
Oh, that's the other era I missed. Well, Ruthless Aggression is clearly #1. What are we talking about?
Of WWE.
I feel as if I've ruined it for all good guys moving forward because I was the first divisible bad guy. But that's how the product has changed. It's not black and white anymore. It's a very gray area. And I think it's because our audience is so vast. We have people like you and me who love the product. Our sense of humor is different than a 6-year-old. But we also have a ton of 6-year-olds. Our content is made for them. PG. We have to play by those rules. Yeah. So you and I would be upset about the presentation of some of that content because that's not us. But that is us because we're watching the show. And it makes for these moments that are so memorable. The face-off between CM Punk and I, or The Rock and me, or The Rock and Hogan, or any of these moments where it's just the performers and mayhem. And that's special.
So despite the wide criticism, the PG era did have its share of successes, as WWE's businesses flourished with strong merchandising sales, successful pay-per-view events, and high television ratings. What also helped during this time was the introduction of the WWE Network in 2014. Although technically outside of the PG era, the groundwork was laid during this period. It revolutionized how fans consumed WWE content, offering a vast library of past events and exclusive new programming. In addition to all of that, WrestleMania continued to be a major spectacle, with the events like WrestleMania 28 featuring the once-in-a-lifetime match between John Cena and The Rock, which drew significant mainstream attention and still to this day is WWE's #1 best-selling pay-per-view. And we can't forget Jeff Hardy, a fan favorite, getting a big push and finally winning the WWE Championship.
Look at this. Look at this. It's perfect.
We also had big moments such as the departure of long-term stars and the rise of new talents characterized this era's transition. The retirement of Shawn Michaels in 2010 and Ric Flair the year before, alongside the part-time status of The Undertaker and Triple H, marked the end of an era. Meanwhile, the influx of talent from WWE's developmental system, Florida Championship Wrestling, FCW, which later became NXT, began to make an impact with the Nexus storyline. Although that SummerSlam loss in 2010 was a major misstep. In summary, despite the mixed reaction from long-term fans, key figures like John Cena, Triple H, Randy Orton, and CM Punk defined the era, while the rise of new stars ensured WWE continued success. As this is the time period we as the audience were introduced into a little-known faction in 2012 called The Shield, who will go on to dominate our screens for the coming years. The reality era of WWE on the official website says it spanned from 2014 to 20.
Oh shit, they got them all right here. All right, boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's missing an error. How did he get 8 errors? We both can't count. But yeah, give me Ruthless Aggression error first. Give me Attitude error second. Golden era, I said it was 4th. Give me it 3rd. 4th. Still 4th. Because I want the new generation. I like the new generation, bro. 5. I gotta see the breakdown for the reality era. It's probably reality era. I ain't watching this shit no more. The new era. Got Rey Mysterio kid. New era. Alright, give me the reality era 6. Give me the new era 5. Give me PG era last.
2016, and Daniel Bryan emerged as the central figure at the beginning of this time. His journey to becoming the World Heavyweight Champion at WrestleMania 30 in 2014 was driven by an overwhelming fan support, emphasized by this era's fan-driven narrative. So Daniel Bryan's victory over Triple H, Randy Orton and Batista in a single night showcased the power of the WWE universe influencing a storyline. But as mentioned, the Shield, consisting of Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, also played a pivotal role. The group's dominance and eventual breakup led to significant careers for each member. For Seth Rollins, his betrayal when he smashed the chair against Roman's back and subsequent rise as the architect as he won the WWE World Heavyweight Championship was a major storyline, culminating in a dramatic cash-in of the Money in the Bank contract at WrestleMania 31. While Roman Reigns' push to become the next top star with his blue eyes was met with mixed reaction from the fans, as WWE fans took issue with Reigns over various reasons. His perceived special treatment.
But he's the GOAT now. Well, it is what it is. I hate to love it or love to hate it.
Real life demeanor, wrestling moveset, promo skills and character presentation were not up to par. But what held this time back the most was the reign of the Authority, which felt like a pain at the time, but looking back at it, it brought some hugely enjoyable moments, such as Dolph Ziggler's epic comeback at Survivor Series alongside Sting making his debut within WWE. Fortunately, during this time, not every popular name was capitalized on. Wrestlers like Rusev, Sheamus and Wade Barrett fell into this category, as bad booking crept its way in, making it not entirely perfect. However, the women's revolution gained significant momentum during this period. WWE began focusing on more women's wrestling, moving away from the Divas era and rebranding the division with more emphasis on athleticism and storytelling. Key figures.
Yeah, cause the wrestler back in the day, they was just eye candy. And I was like, I just having bra and panty matches. Like, I was just being put on TV. What y'all doing? Ass, literally just ass. We get to the wrestling.
Included Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch and Bayley, who brought their talents from NXT to the main roster and delivered high caliber matches. The reality era was relatively short, lasting only about 2 years, due to WWE's rapid evolution and constant need to adapt to changing audience preferences. In addition to that, them trying to establish new stars, since the face of the company, John Cena's appearances were becoming less and less frequent, which brings us to the new era of WWE, continuing in 2016 and continuing to the present, has been marked by significant change.
So like I said, either he don't know how to count or I don't know how to count. That's only 7. But yeah, the PG era is last, even though it did have the most successful match in it. That's just my personal preference. But for the WWE, the PG era is probably the best era.
Changes, innovations, and resurgence in popularity. This period has seen WWE adapt to modern viewing habits and navigate through unprecedented challenges like the pandemic and elevate new stars, most notably Roman Reigns, to unforeseen levels of success and acclaim. The new era began with a renowned focus on in-ring talent and compelling storytelling, as WWE aimed to blend the best elements of its storied past with its audiences. This began with the reintroduction of the brand split in 2016, separating Raw and SmackDown into 2 distinct rosters with exclusive storylines and championships. This was a key strategy in revitalizing the interest and providing more opportunities for talent, most notably Roman Reigns, as he became the central figure of the new era, evolving from the polarizing character to the undisputed top star in professional wrestling. Initially facing mixed reaction from fans, Reigns' character transformation in 2020 into the tribal chief under the...
How the hell he loses blue eyes? Were they contacts or is he wearing contacts now? I have questions. What? How did y'all do this?
Guidance of Paul Heyman was a masterstroke, embracing his Samoan heritage and taking on a dominant heel persona. Reigns' feud with the likes of Jey Uso, Drew McIntyre and Brock Lesnar have been critically acclaimed, cementing him as the best thing in wrestling today.
I'm the tribal chief around here. Yeah, you see me, the tribal chief. That's right.
And the Bloodline storyline will take it one step further, as The Rock would make a surprise takeover of WWE and insert himself into the main event of WrestleMania 40. Tossing Cody Rhodes' 2-year-long story aside was genius from the Great One, as it divided the fan base from the Cody crybabies to the fans of the final boss. In addition to that, this feud brought back fans from the Attitude Era to the current product, as WWE pushed the line upon what they could get away with on TV, and a major highlight was the beatdown that The Rock gave Cody as he busted him open.
You should cry. You should cry, boy. Look at that blood. Now, look at this blood. Ah!
This nigga been in 55,000 films and he still can't act. Can we just pack it up? We can't just pack it up, The Rock. Like, you can't just be a fitness instructor or some shit. Oh, do a podcast or something. You can't just pack up the acting, please. For me.
Yes, yes. What? Show is over and then it stops? Fuck that. Your script? Fuck that. Ah, God.
It's a
This
robot.
is what happens, boy, when you fuck with the final. Come in here, cameraman.
And this era did leaps and bounds for women's wrestling, as the women's evolution continued to gain momentum with female superstars headlining major events. WrestleMania 35 in 2019 featured the first ever women's main event with Becky Lynch, Ronda Rousey, and Charlotte.
I wasn't talking about Ronda Rousey. How the hell is Becky Lynch called the man? I still don't get it. I don't understand. Put Liv on the screen, man.
And the rise of stars like Asuka and Bianca Belair has further elevated women's wrestling to new heights. This era was also the time WWE began hosting shows in Saudi Arabia in 2018 as part of a long-term partnership with the Saudi General Sports Authority. The first major event being the Greatest Royal Rumble took place on April 27, 2018 in Jihad, and despite the initial hate for the show, fans seem to have come around and started enjoying them, despite some of the matches they put on, as they are just bizarre, such as Shawn Michaels coming out of retirement with Triple H to verse the Brothers of Destruction, and who can forget Undertaker versus Goldberg, where the former
What? How much did they pay this? Well, y'all better get my code at least $2 million, man. Ain't no way hell I pulled up to fight the Undertaker. Nigga, I'm 60.
WCW man concussed himself within the first minute, leading to a disaster of a match. That being said, WWE has also embraced technological advancements and changes in content consumption habits, as the WWE network evolved into a comprehensive streaming service offering live events, original programming, and a vast library of past content. Also in 2021, WWE entered a new partnership with Peacock, further expanding its reach, which is great for the company considering the pandemic posed unprecedented challenges, forcing WWE to adapt quickly. With live audiences unable to attend events, WWE introduced the Thunderdome in August of 2020. This allowed fans to attend events virtually. This intervention, along with the strict health protocols and pre-recorded shows, enabled WWE to continue producing content throughout the pandemic, which meant that WWE's popularity has reached new heights in this new era. Major events like WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Royal Rumble continue to draw massive audiences both live and via streaming. And that's not all. During this time, the company's ability to create compelling storylines, introduce fresh talents, and use social media has played a crucial role in its resurgence. So as the company's business has flourished with lucrative television deals and global expansion with their Netflix deal and a growing presence on social media platforms, WWE's ability to adapt and innovate has ensured its continued success and relevance in an ever-evolving entertainment landscape. The new era has been characterized by the blend of tradition and innovation, with WWE maintaining its core appeal while embracing new technologies and storytelling methods. The elevation of Roman Reigns, the continued rise of women's wrestling, and the company's resilience during the pandemic have defined this period. The new
Not showing Dom in that one. Anyway, that was a good video. I just really wanted to see my young nigga on the screen one time, bro. It was like, Rey Mysterio's son really in there kicking ass. That shit tough. That's the end of the video. Make sure I like, comment, subscribe, share the video, share your thoughts on the video in the comments below. Let me know which era you thought was the best, but it's clearly the Ruthless Aggression era. It also featured the best video game Raw versus SmackDown 06 ever. There are reasons why it's one of the best eras. Besides, Vince was actually cooking in that month, even though he's still weird. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Stay safe, y'all.
Baby, slide by to my mind.